Alright, it looks like the stream is live. Let me just make sure Twitter happened. Alright, people are here. Okay, first thing I gotta say at the beginning of this video. I have not been paid by any of the comics that I'm going to talk about, or companies that sell comics. No one has paid me anything. I don't take money from anybody. So anything that I endorse is something that I'm endorsing because I truly believe what I'm saying. Right? And also, YouTube, don't be punishing me because I mark the video as, I didn't mark the video as paid placement because there is no paid placement here. Second thing, this show is not new. Way back in the day, like when I didn't even live in New York City, I think this was like Ustream I was using with a webcam, or my crappy old not even HD camcorder. I made Scott's Box because every month I order comics and they come in the mail in a box. I stopped going to the comic book store because it was too expensive. I started ordering online, and once a month a big box full of comic books shows up. And I would, on this show, which I only made a few episodes of, I would open the box and go through all the things that were in it. It was an unboxing in like 2006, I think 2006 or 7, something like that. So now that I have streaming technology and better cameras and YouTube is better and all that, I can finally bring this show back. So I'm not only going to be doing unboxing on this show. I am going to be doing that in this first episode, but not in every episode because, frankly, I'm ordering less comics lately because I don't read. I don't read all the ones I get. There's too many of them. I mean, I read them eventually, but I don't read them all. I used to read every single comic I got in the month that I got it, and then I would not have comics to read until the next box showed up. But nowadays, comics tend to pile up unread. There's a few that I read right away, and there's a few that wait for me to read them later. And I'm not adding too many new series frequently, because I'm like, I've ordered enough, right? If I'm not reading all the ones I got, I'm not going to add on more new series. So this month, however, was the perfect time to start this because this box is particularly big. Oh, look how big this box is. Oh, it's heavy. Oh my god. Oh. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about this month, so that's why I waited until now to restart the show. But yeah, future episode, because the box isn't always going to be interesting, the unboxings are, this one's a good one, but not all the unboxings are going to be good. I might not unbox every month, but I will be doing, like, review of comics that I finish reading. So, like, if I read something and finish it, then I might just go live, as soon as I finish reading, make, like, a 5-minute video, like, hey, I just finished reading this, whatever. So that's how it's going to work. Comics with Scott. And then I'm not going to stop doing any other things that I've been doing either. Anyway, so let's open this box. Now, first of all, you might be curious, where the hell is Scott getting these boxes from? So there's a company called DCB Service. They do not pay me, but even though I've been their customer for a zillion years, 10 plus years probably, right? And, ooh, the stupid peanuts in there. Oh, come on. And you basically pre-order comics from them, right? Comics that are not on the shelves yet. and you get an extreme discount, like 30% minimum, right? So you're paying way less than you're going to be paying at the comic book store, and you can order absolutely anything. So you don't have to worry, especially me, a weirdo who orders all kinds of weird comics, right? Not just Marvel, DC stuff that the comic store definitely is going to have on the shelf. I'm ordering weird stuff. If you order, you can order everything there, right? No matter what it is, you can order it from them. They get it to you, and you get a discount on it. And then, like 2 months after you order it, everything shows up. So actually, in this box, I believe, I'm going to skip over some stuff because this the first thing I want to show you is probably near the bottom. It was a lot. Oh, here it is. We're going to talk about this. Peanuts! Okay, this, look at this. This looks like Computer Shopper from the 90s. Look how big this thing is. I haven't gotten one of these in a while. They're only like a couple dollars. I got one just to make this video with and to show some people. This is the Previews catalog, right? Every month they come out with this Previews catalog. It's put out by Diamond Comics Distributors, right? If you own a comic book store, and you know the comic book store has to get their stuff from somewhere, right? They don't just call up Marvel and say, "Hey, Marvel, send me some Spider-Mans," right? They go to Diamond Distributors. Diamond Distributors has like basically a monopoly on comic books stuff, right? So if you're a comic book store, all you do to run a comic book store is buy stuff from this catalog and then sell it to people. Absolutely everything a comic book store will sell is in here. Statues, toys, the t-shirt with Captain America's logo on it, right? Every comic book, pretty much, you know, everything is in here. The mangas, every single comics publisher, everything is in this book. That's why it's so enormous, right? You can obviously buy this for yourself. It's not necessary, even if you're doing this online order thing, to actually buy this thing for $2 or whatever it costs. Even though it is handy to do it once in a while, because you can just use the spreadsheets or the website to look through, you know, basically the digital equivalent of this catalog, right? But it is convenient to look through the physical catalog, right? Because you might see things in a different light when you see big pictures or such and such. So the format of this thing is that it's weird. It's like a two-sided kind of thing. Like, where does it begin? Where does it end? It's first of all, this is the June 2017 previews, which means that almost all of the things in here will be delivered in August, right? So these are the comic books coming out in August, and because of spoilers and things, some of the like covers and things like that are actually like just black. They're like, oh, we're not going to tell you, but it's like, it's Batman. You buy it. You're a comic book store, you're getting my Batman, right? We just don't want to show you it right now because we'll spoil 2 months from now. However, the Marvel previews is in a little separate little bookie, right? So this is just the Marvel previews. It's in its own little guy here, right? And then, right, everything else is the everything else previews. So in the front, it starts off with like some articles or whatever, right? And BS, but then it goes in order of the major publishers, right? So it's in sort of an alphabetical order, right? So if you're a big enough comic publisher, you get to go at the front. So the big enough ones that get to go in the front are Dark Horse, right? So Dark Horse gets in the front, then DC, right? They're big, pretty big, right? Then IDW comes next. Right. Then you get Image. See how it's in alphabetical order: Dark Horse, DC, IDW, Image. Right. Then there's a couple Marvel pages, but most of the Marvel stuff is in the separate Marvel previews. Right. Then you go to basically the Everyone Else green section. Right. So the Everyone Else green section is all the publishers in alphabetical order. Right. So there are actually comic publishers who will intentionally change the name of their company to start with like a bunch of A's, like Aardvark. There is actually Aardvark Vanheim, right? Because they want to get in the front so that you don't skip them over, right? Because when you start getting toward the middle of the green section, you're sort of glossing over things. But at the beginning of the green section, you're paying more attention. Also at the end of the green section, right? Because some people might be going through this, you know, back to front. You know, some people change the name of their company, right? Zenoscope. Right, it wants to get in the back. But there's your Vizes and your Yen Press, right, and your Vertical, right? They're all sort of next to each other. Ooh, look, you can order every volume of Gundam The Origin. They're all back on order again, right? I already have them all. They're right over there. It's kind of funny, right? It's like I keep doing shows, video in this area, and I have all these comics in the background, but I haven't done a comic show with this background until now. Anyway, this is the previews catalog. You can get it like whenever you need to. Some people get it every month because they're crazy, but this is where comic stores order all their shit from. Oh, the toys come at the end. Here, you want some anime figures, whatever. So if you get it, you can figure out everything you want and not miss any comics, and then you can place a nice order. All right, let's look at what I actually did order. It's June, so May, April. What did I buy in April that was delivered now? Let's just go through one at a time, whatever I grab. All right. Oh, a single match by OG Suzuki. All right. Let's take this thing off so there's no glare on it. So what is this? This is Drawn and Quarterly. Drawn and Quarterly is an independent comics publisher, and they've been publishing, amongst all the other things they do, I think they publish like Kate Beaton's books, right? They're a really good publisher. But they've been publishing a lot of really classic mangas in really high quality volumes, right? So up there you can see I've got all of the Shigeru Mizuki books have been published by Drawn and Quarterly, as well as the Tatsumi, right? The Tatsumi books have been published by Drawn and Quarterly. And now they're going into OG Suzuki, and they've also done a few others that I may or may not have. So if you want to read, like, you know, classic manga by some great masters, published in, like, really wonderful volumes, Drawn and Quarterly is doing a good job. You should buy their books. Let me just read you a little bit of what it says on the back here. Garo's Gekigaka Oji Suzuki explores memory, relationships, and loss with a shifting narrative and splashes of surrealist... Oh, a young man catches a cold after being soaked in the rain and is tended to by his grandmother. He drifts dreaming of a train trip with an older brother he doesn't have. Traveling... Ooh, so this is probably like a real surreal kind of thing. I could probably read this. This is like all in one shot. I might read this like today or this weekend. Looking good. All right, what's next? Okay. Open up. We're getting there. Alright. This is On the Camino by Jason. I don't know if he has a last name, but he just goes by Jason. It's this really distinctive art style. I have basically all the Jason books like over here. Right, and also some over here. So I've bought everything Jason has written that's been published in English. So there's a new Jason book, I have to buy it, right? I can't skip over a Jason book. I don't know how to describe his books. I mean, he's Norwegian, right? So that will tell you something, right? It has sort of a, you know, you can sort of tell he's a Northern European kind of person when you read them. You can see here's what it looks like, right? But yeah, he draws all his people as like dogs or birds or whatever, but it's not like a furry thing. It's just sort of like, you know, they just are. Their animal nature has no part in the story, right? It's just how he draws them, right? They act as if they're all human beings. Let's see what this one is about. He decided to celebrate his 50th birthday by walking the Camino de Santiago, a historic 500-mile pilgrimage route to the Santiago de Compostela in northwestern Spain. Ooh, I'd like to do that. It's his first autobiographical work. Wow, that's where all his previous stuff has been fiction with varying amounts of, you know, fantasy elements. He covers a lot of different genres. There's been suspense and all sorts of things. The graphic memoir of his 32-day trek, chronicling both the good people and conversations and the bad, blisters and bedbugs, in his journey full of odd encounters. Oh, it sounds pretty great. I mean, it's Jason, right? So I've bought every other Jason. I haven't bought them all because they're bad. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, speak of Drawn and Quarterly. Here's some even more Drawn and Quarterly. Right? This is a paperback, though. This is Shigeru Mizuki Kitaro, The Great Tanuki War. So Shigeru Mizuki is like a legend in Japan. Everyone knows who he is. In America, people might not know. But his very famous series, Gegege no Kitaro, right, is about Kitaro, right, who's a kid who deals with a lot of yokai and various demonic, hellish, spirit kind of monster, freaky things. And they've been published. I mean, there's so much Gegege no Kitaro that there's an anime that's super long, and there's there's multiple animes. Some of them, the main one is really long. It's ultra famous. But the manga is also probably extremely long. I don't think I'm going to buy it forever, but I really do like all of the Kitaro that I've read and seen already. And I haven't read enough of it for something that's so important, right, to manga as a whole. It's like pretty much like Tezuka, Mizuki is like number 2 guy, right? I haven't read nearly enough, even though I've bought a whole bunch of it. I mean, they had Showa History of Japan, 4 monstrous volumes up there. It's going to take me a while to get through those. I haven't started on them yet. But Drawn and Quarterly has been putting out these Kitaro volumes. So I'll probably buy a few more, depending on how much I like them. But I definitely recommend, if you care about manga at all, you have to read some of this, right? It's sort of like mandatory kind of thing. And the Great Tanuki War, that sounds pretty awesome, right? What's this book here? Oh, this is bigger than I thought it would. Oh, no, it's not. It's 2 volumes in one piece of plastic. All right, hold on. Okay. So here's a series this is one of the series that I read. I'm going to read this tonight, right? This is one of those things where I've ordered every volume, and as soon as the volume comes in the mail, I read it immediately. And there's going to be an anime of this soon, I heard. And we did do a Geek Nights episode about Volume 1. So this is Inuyashiki from Kodansha Comics. This is Volume 7. It's by Hiroya Oku, who did other manga that I can't remember what they did. They did some other famous manga. Was it Blame? I forget what other famous manga this person did. So I'm gonna stop guessing. Was Gantz or Blame? I forget. I don't know, because I never read the other famous manga. But this is about basically I'm gonna spoil Volume 1, right? Big deal, right? There's this old dude who's got a crappy family. He's got a crappy life, right? A crappy job. And one night he's hanging in the park with his dog. The only thing he loves, or like the highlight of his life, is his dog, right? And there's a kid in the park too that's there by chance. And aliens, literal aliens, like space aliens, have some sort of accident and end up murdering him and the kid. So the aliens are like, oh shit, that was a mistake. So they reconstruct the old man and the kid out of whatever materials they have, which happen to be ridiculous military equipment from alien military equipment. So now you have the superhero robot old man. He has like the memories of the old man, but he realizes like, oh, I'm actually dead. This is like a robot body. My actual body is completely gone. And the same for the kid. And then what happens to them going forward is crazy, right? The things that happen afterwards. So the story's really reaching a climax, and just flipping through, I saw some crazy shit. So I'm going to be reading this like as soon as I'm done videoing here. This is something I've been looking forward to for a long time, also Kodansha Comics. Descending Stories, right? I think there's actually an anime of this that is already out, but I haven't watched that. So I'm going to watch, I got this Volume 1. I'm going to watch some of the anime, I'm going to read this volume of manga and see which one's better, and probably only do one or the other. I'm also going to research whether the manga goes further than the anime, because if the anime stops and the manga keeps going, I'm not even going to bother with the anime, I'll just read the manga. But what this is, a hapless young man is released from prison with nothing to his name. He knows exactly what he wants: to train in the art of Rakugo comedic storytelling. So Rakugo comedic storytelling looks a lot like this, right? You sit there with a particular costume, and you have a fan, and particular equipment, and you tell stories. And this is a form of entertainment in old times in Japan, and still a form of entertainment today. There are people who still do it, although it's not nearly as big as it was before movies, TV, video games existed. But I learned about Rakugo one year at Otakon. They brought in like a Rakugo master, and we went to their panel, and the storytelling was just so fantastic. Like, I just wanted to see more Rakugo, but almost 100% of Rakugo is in Japanese, so even if you were to watch it, you couldn't enjoy it, right? This guy was doing Rakugo in English, which was great, but he might be the only person who's ever done Rakugo in English ever, maybe? I haven't seen another one, and there's not a lot of opportunities to enjoy Rakugo if you don't live in Japan and speak Japanese. So when I saw there was a manga about Rakugo, I'm like, I'm on. It's an instant buy. So we'll see if it's any good. Okay, let's keep digging in this box. What we got here? We've done a Geek Nights episode about this too. The #1 Geek Nights official comic creator. author of Essex County and Sweet Tooth and many other books. Jeff Lemire, but art by Dustin Nguyen. This is Descender, Volume 4. I'm only getting the trades of Descender, but Descender is lit. Oh my God, Descender is so good. Let me just show you a picture. Let's find this really good art I just saw when I was flipping through. Oh, come back to me. Look at that robot. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this? It's beautiful. Good job, Dustin. Good job. Yeah, Jeff Lemire, maybe the favorite comic writer of Geek Nights. He's really doing a lot of work lately. I remember back in the day we saw him at the Mocha Fest, and he only had Essex County to his name, and that was it. And now he's all over that DC and that Marvel, and he's all over everything, right? Jeff Lemire writing every book. But I think this is like maybe the second best comic book in English that is currently being published right now. It's like Saga, and Descender is number 2. It's about this kid who's a robot. Gee, I really love them robot stories. I'm reading this tonight too, by the way. This is also on the read tonight list, all the robot stories. It's about a robot who, it's sort of like an Aliens situation. You know, in Aliens, there's like the mining colony and they all die except for the little girl. Well, this is like a mining colony and they all die except for the robot kid. And they're in this weird, solar system galaxy where it's like robots versus humans kind of situation. But he's like the last remaining robot of his type. He's basically the magical girl, right, from a Miyazaki movie in robot form. And all the crazy shit that happens. And this is the series that has my favorite character, Drilla. Drilla, real killer. Drilla. So if you want to see Drilla do some killer, Descender. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Oh, is this the final volume? Let me see. Open. We're opening. Hold on. We're getting there. They put a lot of tape on it. They wrap everything in plastic because they're super worried it'll get ruined in the rain. I'm like, I don't really care that much. Okay, so this is volume 11. Is it the final volume, though? That is the question. I don't know. Is it the end? I don't know if this is the final volume or not, but this is Master Keaton, volume 11, right? So Naoki Urasawa is the writer, the artist on this, but actually he had help writing the story from Hokusei Katsushika, who's someone I don't know anything about other than that they're the person who helped Urasawa write Master Keaton. Urasawa went on to do Yaora, Fashionable Judo Girl. That may have come in before this. I don't know the timeline, but he's famous for doing Monster, 20th Century Boys, Billy Bat, right? Those series. His art style is always, the same. But Master Keaton is basically about this dude who is an archaeologist. He wants to be an archaeologist, but he's a former super military badass, right? But now he's an archaeologist, but he doesn't make any money doing any archaeology, right? That doesn't pay the bills. He can't hold down a job. He's also like Japanese and British, sort of, right? But to make money, he got a job doing insurance investigations, which he's really good at with his combining his archaeology skills and his military skills, right? He gets into some pretty crazy situations, like people are using guns and he's beating them with like an outlawed, right? Because he knows about, or he's getting through it, like he's trapped in the desert of Iraq and like this dude's got a tank, but he manages to beat the guy with the tank somehow just with his ingenuity, right? Like there's a lot of MacGyver going on, only way more awesome dude. So yeah, Master Keaton he's a master, right? So I'm gonna buy every volume of this forever. There is an anime, but the manga goes way further than the anime does. And the anime is sort of identical to the manga. There's not really too much difference. So I mean, you can watch the anime, is good, but the manga is where it's at. Okay. Oh, so this is from Viz Media, by the way. Oh, and the Descender is from Image Comics. Okay. Here we go. This is from Yen Press. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. This is Delicious in Dungeon by Ryoko Kui. I've heard a lot about this for a lot of time, and now it's finally here in English. It is delivered. Delicious in Dungeon. When young adventurer Laios and his company are attacked and soundly thrashed by a dragon deep in a dungeon, The party loses all its money and provisions, and remember, they're eager to go back and save her, but there's just one problem. If they set out with no food or coin to speak of, they're sure to starve on the way. But Laios comes up with a brilliant idea. Let's eat the monsters. So this is a book about cooking, where it's sort of like, here's a all right, mandrake and basilisk omelet. Oh, it gives energy, vitamins, and calcium. Not a lot of carbs though. Ingredients: serves one medium mandrake, 50 grams of basilisk bacon, the nice fatty stuff, 1 basilisk egg, salt and pepper, and ketchup to taste. Right? So they get into like these complicated, detailed cooking scenes and recipes, but the recipes are fake. They're all monster recipes. I'm sure you could, replace the basilisk meat and basilisk egg with meat and a chicken meat and a chicken egg, right? And it would probably be working out for you. But it's a dungeon fantasy thing, but also cooking at the same time. Just the concept of this is so good. How could you not even read? You got to read at least one volume of this, right? The concept cannot be overlooked. Thank you for finally printing that in English. Okay, we got some floppy comics here. All right, here we go. This is My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, issue number 55. If you want to read this, just buy the trades. I'm not going to tell you to buy these floppy ones. I mean, they have ads in them and stuff, and it's just like, The reason I'm buying the floppy ones is because I started buying the floppy ones, and I sort of kept buying them, and now I've got them all, and it's too late. I haven't even read up to, this far. But this is the main series that IDW is publishing of My Little Pony. They're on the 55th issue already. It shows you how many years this has been going on for, right? One a month. It looks like Pinkie Pie's having some trouble in Snowland in this issue. Also ponies. Here's issue 54, which apparently didn't get shipped to me last month. So 2 issues in 1 month. Ooh, nice owls on the cover. Ooh, nice one. Here is My Little Pony Legends of Magic issue number 3. So in addition to the main series, Friendship is Magic, they had a different series, which was Friends Forever. And that was like a side series, but that ended. And it was replaced with this, Legends of Magic. So 3 months ago they did this. This is, I haven't read even 1 issue of this yet, but this in concept is the hot shit. This is the stories of like Star Swirl the Bearded and Celestia and Luna and like, way back in the day, right? So this is like, the legendary ponies of the past, right? So this is the good stuff. So, even if you're someone who's not super into ponies, like maybe you're like me, like you watched the show, you liked it, but like the good part was like that, that mystery of the magical past of what was going on back in the day, right? I recommend waiting for the trade. This will eventually come out as like 1 trade probably, the whole thing, maybe 2. And you can, read about Star Swirl the Bearded, right? Hell yeah. Okay. This is Atomic Robo Real Science Adventures, issue number 3. I also recommend getting the trades of this and not the floppy issues. The reason I have this is because I have every issue of Atomic Robo ever. And when I went to talk to Brian Clevenger, and I was at I think a Kineticon once, I was like, hey, I have every issue of Atomic Robo ever. Can I just like trade them in for the trades? That's why they're called trades, right? I'll just give them all to you and you'll give me the trades. And he's like, no, I don't want those floppy issues, but it's too late now, no. So yeah, I have every issue of every Atomic Robo ever. Atomic Robo is an awesome science robot. He does sort of Indiana Jones things, but he's also an atomically powered robot, and Tesla Edison kind of action is going on, right? Oh, here we go. Is this the last thing? Let me check the list. They give you a list that tells you what you ordered, in case you forgot. Let's see. Check. Yep. Make sure that the box matches the paper. Yep. All right. This is the last thing we got in here. Here we go. This is another thing that I don't recommend buying unless you got a lot of money. The only reason I buy it is because, like, to buy, it's weird. Like, if I had to buy all of these now, it would cost a fortune. But because I bought them one at a time, it doesn't seem so ridiculous, right? This is Prince Valiant from Fantagraphics publishing this. Prince Valiant by Hal Foster, Volume 15. That's right, I have 15 of these giant frickin' things now. Let me open this up so I can show you why I'm buying these things. So this covers 1965 through 1966. So Prince Valiant is a comic in the newspaper. I'm sure you've seen it. Nowadays, it's not written by Hal Foster because Hal Foster is dead. I think there might have gone, I forget who does it now, but there's no reason to read the Prince Valiant now, right? The Hal Foster Prince Valiant is the real Prince Valiant. Like behind me, I have the Chester Gould Dick Tracy over here. That's the real Dick Tracy. You don't need any other Dick Tracys besides the real one, right? Just like you don't need any Prince Valiants besides the real one, right? You might notice that when you look at Prince Valiant in the newspaper today, it's pretty big compared to the other comics, right? I'm sure it's been shrinking over time. But let me show you how big it used to be. It used to be an entire freaking page in the newspaper. This is how big it used to be. This is the real size that they would print. One of these pages was one Prince Valiant back in the day. And look, right, how many there are. This is the 15th volume, and I don't think it's done yet, right? Look how many there are, right? So, I mean, Prince Valiant, it's weird. Like, if you tried to read it in the newspaper today, like when I was a kid, I would try to read Prince Valiant in the newspaper, and I'd be like, I don't know who these people are. I have no idea what the hell's going on. And because it was so small, you couldn't like get enough story to have any context, right? You'd have to like just start reading it and then like read it the next day and read it the next day until eventually you would catch on to what the deal was. And it's not like you could go online and read old ones, and it's not like you could buy these volumes. But buying these allows you to not only read Prince Valiant from the beginning, but it allows you to see, you know, the comic. Most of the enjoyment you get from reading this comic is just, I mean, just like look at, oh my god, look at this, oh my god, just look how, you know, you don't get the same feel, you know, you get this epic feeling just looking at the pages without even reading what's going on. That's not a feeling you get from you know, just like this, like if you read the newspaper today, we'll only give you this much in one day, right? You'd have to like take all the newspapers for like 3 days and like paste them together. But then again, who's buying a newspaper today? Nobody's buying a newspaper. You're not paying that money just to read Prince Valiant either, right? Well, you could pay that money instead of buying a newspaper subscription, you could buy these. So I got 15 of these. I don't know where I'm going to keep them in my New York apartment. I'm already sort of running out of space over there next to the Hellboy library volumes and the Usagi Yojimbo omnibus editions. But I'm going to keep reading the Prince Valiant because, oh my god, right? Obviously, I'm not up to volume 15 in my reading. I did read all of volume 1. I think maybe 2 also. It takes a long time to read these, right? Because like you just spend so much time on each page, like just taking it all in, right? And even though this looks kind of thin, right? This will take you, you know, probably hours to read through this thing. So I keep buying them because I got them all. I'm gonna keep getting them all, right? Because the other thing is like, why I could just wait and like buy these maybe cheaper later. Maybe there's like someone has like overstock in some store somewhere. You probably could do that. It would be a lot of effort. But I'm worried that like they're not printing too many of these things, right? And that's part of the reason that's another one of the reasons besides the discount that I pre-order everything 2 months in advance, is to guarantee I get something. There have been times in the past, you know, where you don't order something and then it's impossible to find anymore because comics, you know, are kind of an obscure low print run kind of deal, right? I mean, like even like Delicious in Dungeon here, right? This is pretty pop, you know, this is pretty hot in the manga world. You're going to be able to get this pretty easily. Just buy it on Amazon, right? No problem. But you know what? Like in a year or two, you try to go look for Delicious in Dungeon Volume 1, you might have a hard time finding it, you know? Once Amazon sells out of their stock, you're going to see like used copy on Amazon, $30. You could probably just get a digital one if all you want to do is read it, and that's cool. But good luck finding this guy, right? And there are a lot of comics that I have where if you were to go on Amazon and try to buy them, right, even though I just paid, you know, a discount off cover price by pre-ordering, if you tried to go on Amazon and find some of these things, you would see that the only copies that are available are none, or just a used one for like $50, $100 because someone's got an automatic algorithm or something that's setting the prices based on supply and demand automatically. All right, so let me just check the peanuts one more time. No, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, piece of cardboard, big deal. All right, so those are all the comics I got in the mail this month. It was actually a pretty, this used to be like a medium haul for me when I read more comics per month, but now this is quite a big haul. Good haul to start off this show with, again, to restart this show with. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be doing some shorter videos. Like, I'll finish reading a comic, and I'll just turn the stream on and review it, do a 5-minute deal. And if I, like, the next box is probably just going to have, like, who knows, like, Master Keaton Volume 12. It's going to have My Little Pony 56, and it's going to have, right, there's not going to be a lot of new things to say, but if a box does show up that has a lot of new things to talk about, I'll do another unboxing. So I hope someone liked this. I actually got a few people watching the stream somehow. All right, it's going to be a real YouTube video in a minute anyway. In case you weren't watching, you didn't happen to be watching right now when I'm streaming, right? So we get the best of both worlds, and now it's like nighttime. So I go to bed, and I'm gonna read Inuyashiki and Descender before I go to bed. Alright, good night. Let me push the old stop button over here.